So, babe, we back again.
Yes.
Want to talk about having a little topic. So, babe, what are we talking about today? What we giving some tips on today?
Well, everybody talks about self-care nowadays, right? We are going to talk about and offer to you all 6 tips or 6 ways to maintain your mental health individually in a marriage.
That self-care is important, man. Of course, you know, in marriage, we're always talking about the us, and the us is important. But like we all like to talk about, you got to take care of the you in order to have a good us. So, 6 tips to talk about self-care in a marriage and how that's important and some things you could do. So, babe, how you want to start? What do you think? What's something?
Yeah, so the first thing outside of establishing what you know to be important in your marriage is self-care. Like, we can't assume that everybody in a relationship is going to put self-care as a priority. So first, establishing that with your significant other and saying, like, this is a priority to me. This is important. It's on the list of most important, or one of the things, right? So outside of that, then I think it's important to release the guilt.
What's that mean, though? What you mean? Guilt? Why would I have guilt?
Right. So as a mom, a wife, or a significant other, life could be pretty busy. And when you take time out for yourself, there could be a little bit of guilt. There could be some excuses. There could be, hey, I got to handle this. I got to handle this. So releasing the guilt first so that you are present when you're actually practicing the ways to, provide yourself that self-care. So releasing the guilt.
I think a big one, man, especially when you're married, is, still connecting with your fellas, man. Spending time with your peoples, you know what I'm saying? Getting that opportunity, whether it's, for me, sometimes it's a cigar lounge. Sometimes it's the basement. It might be us going to a game. It might just be us getting up. But, still connecting with your people, man, and still staying grounded and still, having that connection to, feeling like, everything isn't just about, your spouse or your marriage. Obviously, you want to make sure you being responsible when you hanging with the fellas, but it still should be a priority to keep the people who've been close to you still close to you, for sure.
I agree. Don't forget about your girl time. Totally. So another way that you can maintain your self-care or provide that self-care for yourself is creating a day for yourself. Like deciding what you want to do, having a conversation and saying, I need this time for me. And you can do whatever you want that day. You can still have the time with your girls, the time by yourself, even time at the beach or at the spa by yourself. Yes. Now, if you're already comfortable with that and you already practice this way, then I'm going to ask you to stretch it just a little bit and give yourself a weekend. Yes, I said a weekend, a whole weekend by yourself. And, of course, having that conversation with your significant other, but letting them know how important it is to you to give yourself that time, because once you rejuvenate for yourself, then you could be more present with everybody else in your life. So I'm going to give an example. I've created for myself an honoring myself weekend.
That I co-sign.
It's a thing. It's
No
a thing
doubt.
in the Moore household where I said, thank you for, giving me the space I need and creating these days. I love it. It's not enough. We have 4 children. No, sometimes I need a whole weekend. So I said, can I do that once a year for myself? And maybe if I could stretch it twice a year. But I definitely give myself that once a year. And for those people who are on a budget, because we understand that it doesn't have to be extraordinary where you're getting on a plane or you're going someplace. You can actually drive to the nearest town or drive 30 minutes, book a hotel, put $20 to the side, every week or every other week for that time, for that whole weekend for yourself. And in all essence, you'll be honoring yourself because you'll be rejuvenating. And then when you come back, you'll be ready, just to pour into other people as well. So honoring yourself for a day and then stretching it to a whole weekend.
I think, too, first of all, and I know some people like, yo, I ain't letting my shorty go to it for a whole weekend. Don't get it twisted, fellas. That's your weekend, too. Now, granted, we got 4 kids, so, yeah, that might be my kids' time, my weekend with the kids. But that's an opportunity for me to get the daddy time with the kids. And that's an opportunity for me to let the kids rock in the house and me get some away time for my wife, too. I love her. But, it's nice for the house to do what the house do and her to go get rejuvenated and, her to come back to a good, nice house that we're all healthy and feeling good and she feeling rejuvenated. And I think another tip too, man, is travel, man. I think I've I know for me, that's been something that has really, really helped open my eyes, obviously, to different things in the world. But, you know, it's a source of peace for me, man. It's an opportunity to relax. And it doesn't matter, again, we talk about budget. So I know a lot of people talk about, yo, traveling costs so much money. Man, if you plan for things, so if you plan ahead and you really look into how you can budget it, traveling it is so possible. And again, it doesn't matter if it's international. It don't matter if you're getting on a plane, you're getting on a train. It don't matter if you're hopping in your car and just going to the next state or the next town. Just getting away, getting a chance to change your environment, see something else. If you live in the city, getting out to the suburbs. If you live in the suburbs, getting into the city and just changing your environment and seeing things that you don't see every day, giving yourself new perspective. So I think traveling is a huge, huge way to, you know, maintain and do the self-care.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And just to add to that, you can travel by yourself and you can travel, you know, with your family every now and then you can do a girls trip, a guys trip. But that's definitely, you know, so important to just like really give yourself that peace, because you deserve it. We all deserve to have that time. So I want to add one more thing, a hobby. Get back to you. It doesn't have to always be about your significant other or the we. That's nice. I love it. But having a hobby and something that you can pour into for yourself is highly important. So I just want to add that too. You know, you can take on maybe going to yoga or painting or running or skating, dancing, anything that could bring you, you know, back to you and give yourself that time to release and just have that time for you. So yeah, definitely. You know, if you need some more tips on how to maintain your mental health or some ways to do that inner work, go to our website, order the Self-Love and Self-Healing Workbook. And then if you want any kind of merchandise on self-care, as you can see, you can go to Therapist for the Culture.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Yo, love y'all. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you holler at us in the comments. Make sure you check out the websites and all that. All right?
Thank you. Peace.